Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Abernathy, and this is the next episode of these very short videos that we're doing for you. And today I want to talk about self-diagnosis. Now, in the start of this, we sent out an email, and attached to it were 6 line items that you could click on and take you right to the self-diagnosis. So it really allows you to look at your practice anew. Look at it. I mean, data doesn't lie. So you're looking at it kind of anew. I know when I get on the phone talking with doctors, I'll ask them, how many new patients do you have? I mean, how many were direct referrals? How many hours do you work? All those things. How many insurance companies are you in network with? And the doctors will answer, but then I send them a spreadsheet to fill out, very similar to what you're doing in self-diagnosis. And I get the data back, and I've taken notes, and surprise, the real data doesn't look anything like what the real things are. So in the process, you should already have either done it or are working on it to self-diagnose yourself. And so I want to remind you that you need this data. And we get pushback from some doctors. I got an email from one doctor, basically didn't understand the spreadsheet. And I said, we're just looking for like the 12 months of last year. He was close to the first of the year, last year. And he goes, oh, okay. And then I said, look, we're trying to do this to help you, increase your profitability, decrease your overhead, get more new patients, to decrease some of your stress and stuff. And we needed a place to start. So I know taking my kids and grandkids to Disney World, we did that last year. We get lost, but they have these kiosks that had this big red, arrow pointing down and said, "You're here." And so we were headed for the Magic Kingdom. I knew when I saw that, okay, we're here, and it's on a map. I knew to turn right, go about 100 yards, turn right, and then it's straight down this particular road and stuff. That's what self-diagnosis is going to do for you. We're going to get into specifics as we make these short videos, and to remind you that in that same email we sent out, there was a website that you could download the Super General Dental Practice. It's just www.supergeneralpractice.com, because we're going to refer to some of the chapters occasionally. And so that'll give you more depth to this. So while the video is short, it gives you more information. But in the diagnosis part, I wanted you to keep this in mind. So it's a little off the point because we talked about overhead and benchmarks. We've talked about demographics, and you're analyzing your own practice. I want to give you a mindset as you go through these videos. I had mentioned in one of the videos that I wanted you to have a startup mentality. Well, I want to change that just a bit. I still want a startup mentality, but I want you to assume that you just purchased somebody else's practice. Not a startup, but you bought an existing practice. Maybe the doctor retired, died, whatever it was, but you bought an existing practice that has patients, it has staff, and I want you to look at your practice, okay, as if you just bought this practice and don't know anything about it. So this diagnosis you're seeing for the first time. And so, when I look at buying a practice or help doctors look at buying a practice, I look at certain things. And that self-diagnosis is exactly what I look at. Now, it goes further than that, but that's mostly what I look at. So I want you to remember, okay, you're looking at the practice, pretend it's not yours. And you're looking at the practice, you're going, okay, I'm looking at the numbers, I'm going, wow, this really looks good, or this really is horrible, okay? Every practice is like that. But you're looking at it with new eyes, new light. You're looking at it to make changes, okay? To make changes that will make the next month and the next month and the next month bigger, stronger, and you should get that 10, 15, 20% growth every year that you're in practice. So again, that mindset of you just purchased someone else's practice. Now, some things to remember. When you buy an existing business, and you look and go, wow, this guy's doing this all wrong, okay? Remember that the patients that are coming to that doctor aren't there for what they don't do well. They're there for what they did do well. And when you take over a new business, there are certain things you have to remember and have to do. One is, don't make so many changes that you lose the patients that came there for a reason. You need to figure out what that reason is. But in addition, when I buy a practice, I'm not looking to buy the very best practice in the world. And again, most of our practices aren't the very best practices in the world. But what I'm looking at, the value to me isn't just what they produce now, because I'd have to do exactly what they did. What I'm looking at are the upsides. So if we're looking at your practice anew as if it was another practice, it wasn't yours, you're looking at it, you just bought it, you're worried about the bank note, you're going to have to pay it off, you're going to have to make it grow, you're trying to figure out which staff to keep, which ones are not, look at your own practice that way, okay? I mean, could you have better hours? Could you add a wider range of services, a wider range of ages? You know, what did that practice doing well, but what is it not doing well that you could add that? So for me, when I look at a practice, I like practices that don't have a wide range of services because I can do a wide range of services. I like practices that don't see kids because we could do kids. I like practices that don't work Friday and Saturdays when we do that, or don't do implants or don't do endo because we could do that. The practice of the future is going to be a practice that does those things. You have the opportunity for a do-over button. Einstein said this, that information is not knowledge, okay? You're getting information. The part where you go back and self-diagnose yourself isn't just information, it's knowledge. It has the potential for change for you. So take the figures you looked at, the self-diagnosis, reflect on it, then look at the practice as if you bought it from somebody else. What are you going to change? What are you going to do? How quickly can you do it? Is there something I can do now, or do I have to wait? Thank you very much.